Belly fat is so easy to gain, yet so hard to lose. It's the most stubborn fat we have on our body. By the end of this video, you're going to know how to structure your diet in order to lose belly fat for good. Let's get right into it. Before we get into the two-phase diet you're going to use to get rid of your belly fat for good, it's important to understand that belly fat will come off last. You will see fat go from your face, your arms, your chest, pretty much everywhere before you see a significant drop in belly fat. To be honest, to actually have abs visible or start to appear, you need to be around 15% body fat. To have most of your belly fat gone, you'll be around 10 to 12% body fat. Phase 1, this is pretty straightforward, and throughout this phase your energy levels will be more or less maintained and you won't feel super hungry, especially to begin with. So what we want to focus on here is calories and protein. We want to create a slight calorie deficit, and that just means consuming fewer calories than we're burning. And to do this, well, to get a rough estimation of a good calorie deficit to start with would be timesing your body weight in pounds by 12 if you've got a lot of fat to lose, and by 13 if you've got maybe a bit less fat to lose and you're more active. So that will give you a rough estimation of a good starting point in terms of a calorie deficit without actually having to track at this point. And I want you to focus mostly on whole foods. So whole foods are going to keep you fuller longer and prevent you from overeating. And whole unprocessed foods will actually burn more calories during digestion. A 2019 paper looked at a diet consisting of processed foods versus a diet consisting of whole foods, unprocessed foods, and they compared the two. Both were allowed to eat as much as they wanted. The diet, well, when they ate a diet consisting of processed foods, they consumed around 500 calories extra per day. That 500 calories extra per day led to a 2-pound increase in body weight over 2 weeks. Then when they followed the unprocessed diet, they actually lost 2 pounds in 2 weeks. And remember, we don't just want weight loss, and this is where protein intake becomes important. You need to make sure you're eating enough protein to preserve and in some cases build muscle while you're losing that body fat. So what multiple studies have actually found is that higher protein diets will preserve more muscle and help you lose more fat as a percentage of weight. So you'll be losing more fat and be building and preserving more muscle. So how much protein do you need, you're probably wondering. So if you're on the heavier side of things, what you can do is you can times your height in centimeters by 1. So if you're 175 or 180 centimeters, then you can have 180 grams of protein per day. If you're around 15% body fat, then what you can do is you can times your body weight in pounds by 0.8. Just to help you out, on screen is a list of low calorie dense foods which most of your diet should be based around, and also some lean protein options. You want to be consuming 1 to 2 portions of fruit and veg per meal, and you also want to be consuming 1 portion of lean protein per meal as well. Obviously depends on how many meals you're doing, etc., but most of you will be doing between 3 to 4 meals, and if you base your meals around that, then you should be good. But you don't want to completely remove like processed foods, or maybe you do, but you don't have to at this point. You can still have them occasionally. Just be mindful of the portion size and the calories they contain as well. This wraps up phase 1. You'll be at around 15% body fat. You might have hit a plateau where you're not really losing much more weight, your body's not changing too much, and this is where phase 2 comes in, which is going to take you from around 15%, which you should be at the end of phase 1, around about that. Everyone's obviously different, all the way to 10 to 12% body fat. Phase 2, this is where things get tougher. You're gonna have to be more precise. Everything's gonna have to be dialed in that bit more to get to 10 to 12% body fat. If you're not tracking, here is where I do suggest you track. You're gonna be more precise by weighing and tracking your calories than you are by just guesstimating. Studies have found that even trained professionals will underreport their calorie intake. To track your calories, you can either use MyFitnessPal or Chronometer. Both apps are free and extremely useful, have a huge database as well. If you don't want to track like permanently, you can track for like 2 to 4 weeks. Just get the hang of portion sizes, then phase that out if you feel comfortable and you're still making progress without tracking as well. The next part of this phase is to adjust fats and carbohydrates. You know, adjust the ratios of them. No, we're not going to go low carb here, but what we are going to do is we're going to take down fats and increase carbohydrates. Fats have more calories per gram. They actually have 9 calories per gram, and carbs have 4 calories per gram. Here you want to keep protein the same. Protein could be 0.8 grams times by your weight in pounds. Then with fats, you want to take them as low as 20 to 25% of your total calories. If they're already at that range, keep them there, but that's what you want to be aiming for. Most people will be having a higher fat diet if they're being more flexible. So if you take them down to that level, you'll be able to have way more carbs, more like 40 to 45% of your total calories coming from carbs. The increased carbs is going to give you more energy to push during the gym, just throughout the day, so you'll burn more calories and you'll also be able to build and maintain muscle a lot better. And you want to make sure you're consistently doing this until you are where you want to be. It takes time to lose belly fat, like I've said before, so you need to be patient and you need to be consistent with it as well. Throughout this process, as your weight reduces, you want to make sure you're adjusting your calories. If you're using an app like MyFitnessPal, you can go in there every 2 weeks. Just make sure you update your weight and then it will give you a new calorie measurement. Or if you're entering it in using like an external formula, like I've mentioned before, then you can just do that, like the Mifflin St. Jean formula I recommended using. You can use that and then just punch the numbers into MyFitnessPal and just make sure you're updating it, like I said, just as you lose weight. And that's all for this video. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification to be alerted as soon as I post a new video. And if you want to build muscle and lose fat, head on over to my free Facebook group that's designed specifically for men, showing you how to build muscle and lose fat. A ton of exclusive resources that are going to help you achieve your goals. Until the next video, keep pushing your limits.